weekend already. The week has gone very, very quickly, mainly because I've been out of the shop doing things. Yesterday I went to a Spanish wine fair, and so today we're going to try something different based on that experience, because it was actually incredibly difficult when you've got lots of wines based on the same grapes. Even if they're all really good quality, it's very hard to remember them if they're similar. So today we're going to do 3 Chardonnay-based wines and a couple of Pinot Noirs. And we're going to look at them simultaneously. So we're going to do it in order, but we're going to keep looking back to try and pick out those characteristics that make each wine different, whether they're based on the same grape or not. So the first one we've got is the Montecanto Chardonnay by Niceto Michelotti. This is made by a Zambian guy up in Piemonte, and he's got this fantastic amphitheatre of vines that really traps the sun in, so you get a really good ripeness of fruit. I've had this wine for ages. I did try a fantastic Chardonnay yesterday. It tastes like toffee and caramel, and this does have hints of that in it. It's really honeyed, like when you get sheets of natural honey, and they've got that slight tartness in it as well as being sweet. You've got a lot more depth of character. It's not like the squeezy honey that you put on toast. Let's give it a go. And that's really coming through on the palate as well. You've got to remember, this isn't a young wine anymore. I keep thinking it's a very young wine, but it's 2006, so that's already 4 years ago, so time flies with years as well. So the next one that we're trying is quite a bit younger. It's 2008, Domaine Tibet. We've been raving about these guys' wines since they came in a couple of months ago. They're beautifully elegant. Have a look. Completely different. So with this one, we've got a very round, honeyed flavour, and you've already got a little bit more depth of colour going on there as well. This one's had virtually no oak. It was barrel fermented, but no age at all. Whereas this one's had a little bit of oak age, although I'm not sure that's really coming through. You do get the woodiness, but you don't get the roundness of flavour. So honeys and preserved lemons, maybe mayflowers, melons, ripe apples, like those little apples that you put in the winter storage and bring them out in December. And this one is much more slaty. There's loads more sort of minerally stuff going on in there. And it's cleaner, it's sharper, it's crisper. But both beautiful wines, so come in and try those. Third one, very different. We've got a Beer and Auslese Chardonnay from Austria, thanks to Hermit Lang. So let's try this. It is quite unusual to get dessert wines based on Chardonnay, because a lot of dessert wines are based on the more aromatic grape varieties. So let's see what this one's like. It's an amazing colour, really golden, and you know, for a non-aromatic grape, it's really springing out of the glass. That doesn't smell typical at all. Livy just tried this one. She thinks it tastes like popcorn. And what was the other thing?
No, like nuts. Sweet cinema popcorn and sweet nuts, yeah.
Like those nuts, is that like the nuts you get on the side of the street? That
like honey, in sugar and honey.
And I don't get that at all.
Well, I do.
The Paris suggestion's like rubbing off, so I'm beginning to smell it, but I don't know if that's
like
real
cinema popcorn. You can see it now, can't you?
No. This is definitely one for fans of sticky wines. It's really gloopy, really glycerin-y. In fact, I can't really talk because my tongue is covered with sugar. But in a good way. But it doesn't have the elegance of some dessert wines. It is quite heavy in the mouth, but surprisingly aromatic, and surprisingly got some of the same characteristics as this very clean Montecanto, which I probably won't be able to taste now because my tongue's covered in sugar. Probably should have done it last. Yeah, you know what? They share more than the Macron does with the Italian. Let's move on to reds. Let's start with the Umorinere. This is made by Giovanella Fagazza, who we met in spirit last week. Thank you, Livy, for her wonderful acting. Now this is a bit different. This is Pinot Noir. But what always strikes me about this wine is its earthiness behind the fruit. I think a lot of times when you buy Pinot Noir at this sort of price, this is $9.50, you don't get the complexity that you do with this wine. But these women have pioneered the growing of Pinot Noir in this area. It's right on the border of Lombardy and Emilia-Romagna, so let's give it a go.
It my favourite of the moment.
Yeah, Libby's mum bought her a bottle. You should have seen the excitement. She jumped up and down. It's quite brambly for a Pinot Noir, and it's quite soft for an entry-level Pinot Noir. Some of them have that sort of biting leanness and acidity, and that doesn't. It's got nice acidity, be really good with some Italian food. But it's quite mellow. It's got mellow
Musky.
fruit. It's like, huh?
Musky. I think it's quite musky.
Is it musky? Yeah, I think that's what I'm describing as earthiness. So whatever you guys think.
That's a clever description.
That one. No, not at all. Well, it's subjective, isn't it? So earthy mellow. We'll come back to it in a second. And this is an Austrian Pinot Noir. I've still got the sugar glycerininess in my throat. Made by Roman Fattel.
Fattel.
Awesome name, isn't it? Fattel. So let's see about that one. Oh, completely different. This one you just get fruit. This one already on the nose, it's got that weird Pinot Noir taste smell that some people like and some people don't. It's a little bit garry, sort of farmyardy. But it's got fruit there as well, and it's really purple. I mean, wonderful colour. I think I'm biased. This one's so good. Let's try. This one's a lot more confected fruit. I don't actually know what sort of methods this one went through and it's being made, but to me it hints at something called carbonic maceration, where the grapes start fermenting inside themselves, and it just gives you that slight sort of confected note to it, which I think this one has. But this one has at least 3 flavours going on. You've got fruit, you've got this sort of candy confectedness, and you've got the farmyardiness. Whereas this one I'd say is more soil and fruit. Which one do I prefer? I slightly prefer this one. I think it's slightly more in balance. This one, it's hard to describe. Anyway, so while I think about how to describe it, you can come in today or tomorrow and see what I've come up with, because if I just stand here thinking about it for another hour, then you're going to get a bit bored. So please come in and try these wines and see what you think. Bye!